Hi everyone. I want to talk to you today about forgiveness. Sometimes I get stuck in my own anger, and I know that a lot of suffering is caused by our inability to forgive, inability to let go of anger. So I've decided to share a process I have learned and have used over the years with my clients and with myself to let go of anger towards someone or even myself. This is my little contribution towards healing our planet. If you find it helpful, then please share. Never know who this might help. This can be a therapeutic process. However, it does not substitute your continuing to work with your therapist or your psychiatrist. And especially if you're struggling with issues of post-traumatic stress or you've experienced some severe trauma and trying to work with that or to let that go, please do see your therapist or psychiatrist. If, on the other hand, you've been offended by someone or something, it could be something you're carrying for a long time and just have been struggling with the pain and suffering. You may have even tried to forgive or to let go of this, but yet you continue to harbor some anger, harbor some resentment, then you may find this helpful. I started to title this topic Resentment, letting go of resentments, but I changed it instead to forgiveness. Forgiving those who have harmed us, which is really letting go of resentments. Letting go of some anger we've been holding on to. So how do we begin to forgive those who have harmed us? And why do we even need to forgive those who have harmed us? Let us first start by looking at what are resentments. How do resentments develop? So what's a resentment? Resentment is really a form of anger. The type of anger which starts when someone does or says something that really hurts us. We're offended, hurt, and we cannot get it out of our minds. It keeps coming up over and over again. We can't let it go. It consumes us. We stay mad with this person for hours, sometimes days, weeks, months, even years. Eventually, this anger turns into hate. We despise the person who hurt us. We want them to suffer. We spend a lot of time dreaming of revenge. We sometimes want everyone else to hate them as much as we do. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. As a result of this anger and hatred, we become bitter. We sometimes feel trapped inside our own pain. We're consumed by the anger, sometimes causing pain and suffering to not only ourselves, but even people who love us and people whom we love. Sometimes we do things we regret. Puncturing tires, blocking parking spaces, getting into fistfights. We do things we regret as we try to get even with this person or persons who have harmed us. With that amount of suffering, we may have come to realize that holding on to this anger and hate, holding on to this resentment, may be harming us more than the person whom we hate. We're suffering more. This person is probably getting on with their lives and we're over here stuck in this anger and bitterness. We feel bitter. We feel stuck. It may even be affecting our relationships. We've tried to let go of this all-consuming hate but have had little success. It continues to consume us. So how do we begin to let go of this bitterness, to find some peace, to end this suffering and to get to that place of peace in our lives? The answer is we make a decision to forgive. To forgive? Some of you may be saying, we have forgiven this person, but yet it continues to come up over and over again. Yes, the answer is to forgive. Because it is only by truly forgiving that we can experience some relief from this all-consuming hate, this anger. So let's take a look at the forgiveness process. We're making a decision to forgive not for the benefit of the other person, but for ourselves. We've decided that we no longer want to be consumed by bitterness. We don't want to suffer anymore. By forgiving, we're not saying that what the person did was right or that it was okay. We're saying that we no longer seek revenge. We're saying we no longer want to be consumed by this anger. We no longer want to be consumed by hate. We want to get on with our lives. We have decided to let that go. To start the forgiveness process, we're going to take a few steps. You may need to get something to write at this point, or I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, so I'll pause for you to get pen and paper, maybe get your journal. It will be a useful exercise in self-care, taking care of yourself. Just get something to write, a plain piece of paper, get your journal, a little notebook. I use a composition book and make notes in. But I really do suggest that you write this out. Taking your thoughts from your head to your hands to put on paper might help to give you a little different perspective. So first, let's think about the resentment you have had. Spend some time just thinking about who have harmed you. What happened? How were you hurt? Some of us may have resentment towards ourselves. We are angry or disappointed in ourselves about something we should have done or something we did do. So just take some time now and just jot down what is it that you're holding on to? What is it that's causing you this struggle, this pain? So take a few minutes to do that, and I'll pause the video here, or you can pause the video and then come back to it when you're done. Okay, so let's look at how much time have you spent holding on to this anger? How much time has it taken from you? Think about it. How much time have you spent today thinking about this person or this situation? Is it 2 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Were you steaming about it this morning? Was it in your head when you were driving home from work? Did you wake up thinking about it? Did you consume your entire day? How much time this week have you spent on this anger, this resentment? How much of your time has it stolen this month? How many years? Some of us may be carrying this for years. So here again, pause the video, take some time and just think about that and write that down. How long? And I want you to see that in black and white or blue and white or green and white, whatever color ink you're using. How long? How much of your time has this anger taken from you? Okay, so now we're ready for step number 2. What are some thoughts you have that keep you stirred up? What are some thoughts that keep stirring up this anger? For example, I might be thinking, if only I hadn't done that, or if only I'd said. How many of us struggle with that? I should have said so and so. What are some of the thoughts? Or that person is such a bitch. Or I would have been richer today if it wasn't for that person. If I didn't lend him that money, I would have bought that car. I know I can relate to that one. Write down the thoughts that come to mind, the thoughts that's related to this hurt, And what are some of the thoughts that keep stirring you up, keeping you angry? Take a deep breath and just sit with that. Feel where in your body tightens or burn. What sensation are you experiencing as you allow these thoughts to come to surface? Pause the video if you need more time and just sit with that for a while and just scan your body and see where in your body tightens, where burns, what other sensations you might be experiencing as a result of carrying this for a while. Take a deep breath and just scan your body from your toes right up to the top of your head and notice how you're carrying this pain in your body and how you've been carrying it over the years. Okay, take a deep breath and let's go on to step 3. Now, I want you to list some of the things that you say or do that only keeps you angry. What are some things you've done or said that makes this resentment worse? For example, name calling. How do you badmouth this person to others? What type of revenge have you engaged in or planned? Take some time and write that down. Pause the video if you need to, and then come back to step 4. Step 4. How has your resentment harmed others? Harmed people who you love? Your children, for example, may not have the opportunity of building a relationship with their cousins because of a feud you may have had with your sister. Your children may miss out on having a grandparent in their life because you're so angry with your mother-in-law or your parent. Write out how others, people you love, how has this resentment impacted other people in your life? And again, take some time to do that. Pause the video if you need to. And when you're ready, let's go on to step 5. Step 5. Ask yourself, if I wasn't so angry and resentful, how would my life be different? How would I be different if I wasn't so angry, if I wasn't holding on to this anger? I may be a more loving aunt, more loving sister. Take a deep breath, and without judgment or anger towards yourself, just gently explore how would your life be different if you did not have this resentment? Who would you be without this resentment? How would things be different? Would you be more loving? Would you be happier? Would you have more people in your life? Would you be less lonely, possibly? Okay, so we have looked at how much time this has taken from us. We've looked at some of the thoughts and behaviors that stirred us up. And we've looked at how we've also harmed others, people that we love, by holding on to this anger. And possibly how would our lives be different? So are you ready to take some action? Are you ready for things to be different in your life? If you are, then it's time to move on to the next step, step 6. And step 6 is about taking action. If you're ready to experience some peace, ready to take some action towards creating a different life, ready to take responsibility for your own happiness, to take some action to take care of yourself, then let's move on to step 6, because step 6 is about actually doing something. What can you commit to doing? You might find at this point that you're really not ready to take any of these action steps, and that's okay. Be gentle with yourself. You have done well by just listening to this video up to this point, and I've been willing to explore this anger that you've been carrying for a while. So that's okay if you're not ready to take any steps. But I'm going to go through about 9 things that we can do, and there may be other things that you come up with as you do this exercise, but I've outlined here 9 things that we could do in being active in taking some steps to letting go of this. So, action number 1. I'm ready to make a choice to forgive. Are you ready to take this step? Just to acknowledge readiness to forgive. I'm ready to forgive this person, to really let this go and let this not be a part of my life anymore, to put it behind me. I'm ready to take some steps to forgive. Are you ready to do that? Action number 2. I will no longer plot revenge or wish for bad things to happen to this person. You're making a commitment now to stop, starting this moment, to stop plotting and scheming revenge or harboring any thoughts of ill will. Are you ready to do that? Action number 3. I will no longer speak badly about this person to others. We're taking a decision to cease and desist right now, immediately. As of this moment, to no longer speaking badly about this person to others. Are you ready to do that? Action number 4. I will begin to be courteous and respectful to this person, treating them like I treat anybody else. Sometimes even strangers on the road I'm more respectful to than people who are in my life. So I'm making a decision now to be courteous and respectful to this person, while still protecting yourself. It doesn't mean you're gonna set yourself up to be abused or injured. Maintaining healthy boundary for yourself. You're deciding that you will treat this person as respectful and courteous as you treat anyone else, saying hello or good morning if you see them, no longer giving them that evil eye. It doesn't mean you're opening up yourself for any abuse. You're mindful to protect yourself from further harm or injury. Are you ready to do that? Action number 5. I'm ready to rip up old debts. This person no longer owes me an apology, no longer owes me the money he owes me, or anything. I'm expecting nothing from him. No, I'm sorry, or I love you. Nothing. You're writing off all debts. This person no longer owes you. There's nothing they need to do to receive your forgiveness. You expect nothing. Let the universe balance that checkbook. Are you ready to do that? Action number 6. I will no longer blame this person for my misery or anger. I'm no longer blaming. This is a huge step. Here I'm accepting that life is sometimes unfair. Things may not work out the way I expect them to, but I'm ready to let go of blame. Action number 7. I will accept full responsibility for my suffering, taking responsibility for my own happiness and unhappiness. After all, regardless of what was done to me, I was the one who chose to hold on to the anger for all these years or months. And here again, we're not saying that what the person did was okay or was right. I am just saying I am choosing not to suffer anymore. I'm also accepting responsibility for the choices I've made. For example, I loaned someone some money years ago, and I had a resentment because I was never repaid. But I had to come to terms with the fact that I made the decision to lend that person, and it was out of some codependent need that I don't want to be considered a mean person, because that was something I struggled with, being considered mean. And so I loaned the money, knowing full well that it might not be paid. And then I held on to that anger for years. So I had to take responsibility for my stuff. So, action number 7 again, I will accept responsibility for my suffering and accept responsibility for the choices I also made. In some cases, you were not responsible for the action of the other person. Some persons might have just been unkind or mean, forced themselves upon you, or intruded on you, and so you are not responsible for that. But you're also responsible for your happiness or your suffering now, because you have a choice to begin to let go or to continue to hold on. Action number 8, I will pray for this person. Starting today, I'm ready to bless this person, pray for his well-being, pray for him to have peace and prosperity in his life or her life. Are you ready to do that? Action number 9. I will stop living in the past and put my energy into the present. If you think a little about a resentment that you're holding on to, even if it's something that just happened, it's in the past, because in this moment, all is well right here and now in this moment. When we dwell on the past moment, it's difficult to stay in the present. Take a deep breath. Feel the breath passing through your body from your nostrils, going down to your heart, stomach, down to your legs. Feel it coming back up for the exhalation. As you exhale, look around you. See the space you're in. What sounds are you hearing? Take a moment to take a few more breaths. Feel the sensations in your body. Hear the sounds around you. Smell the scents. Are you ready to start living in this moment and getting out of your head, getting out of the past? Okay, so take a few moments and look over the action steps that we've just discussed. And I'll review them here with you. And being gentle with yourself. What action are you willing to take? Were you able to make a decision to forgive? To stop plotting revenge? Maybe to stop bad-mouthing? Or just to be courteous and respectful? Did you decide to rip up old debts? Did you make a decision to no longer blame? Or maybe you've just decided to accept personal responsibility, to be responsible for your happiness. Maybe today you can only pray for that person. Did you make the decision to pray for someone who has harmed you? Or did you make the decision to become more mindful of the present and to stop living in the past? Take a moment and just see which one or ones, how many of these choices can you commit to? Starting to engaging in, starting now. Good job. Good job. You have made steps towards forgiving. That's the forgiving process there. You have taken a step towards nurturing yourself and towards your own well-being. You've taken a step towards taking responsibility for your own happiness. You've taken a step towards getting on with your life instead of staying stuck in the past. You are accepting that some injustices may never be settled to your satisfaction. That's facing the reality of life. That's the life we live in. It's part of being on this planet here. You're accepting full responsibility for your life, for your own happiness or unhappiness. Congratulations for taking care of yourself. So let's just take a few more minutes and just to feel this forgiving energy in your body. What does it feel like? So sit or lie comfortably, and I want you to begin to scan your body. Mindfully give your attention to your body. Just notice your entire body wherever you're sitting or standing. And starting with your toes, just pay attention to your toes. What does it feel like? What is it trying to tell you? Just focus all your attention there. And coming up to your calf muscles, your thigh. Feel your body sitting, feel the surface you're sitting on. What does it feel like? And just be present with your body. Try and move in the focus just into your body. And continue to breathe. Coming up into your stomach. In your gut area, what does that feel like now? Does it feel as tense? Do you feel a little relief? Continuing to breathe, coming up into your heart area. What is your chest feeling like? Just notice how you feel in your body without judgment. Some of us might have felt some relief just going through this exercise. Some of us may not. We're not judging, just noticing how you're feeling. And you can come back to this video and do it as many times as you like. And the more you do it, the more effective it will be. Just noticing your body and how you feel, and if there's any shift in energy as a result of doing this exercise. We hold on to feelings, and those feelings build up as energy in different points of our body, and sometimes they stay stuck for years. And allowing yourself to release some of that pent up or stuck energy. Just continuing to notice your body without judgment, being gentle, notice your body. And if you have the time, just lying here, taking a few more deep breaths, scanning your entire body, and being grateful for this time that you've afforded this time to do some work for yourself, nurture yourself, so be thankful for that. Celebrate yourself for that. And rest here for a while and just be. Thank you. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, then pass it on. Like and share with a friend. Blessings, my fellow earth travelers. Much love.